Right, sorry about that. Hello and welcome everybody to Smoking Pirelli's Racing League. We are here at Abu Dhabi. Right, let's jump on board of some drivers. Right, so let's have a look at Matty Bennett. Currently, he's coming to the end of his Sector 1 driving the Alfa Romeo. He's looking to get some decent points this evening. I know he's not been happy with some of his performances, and yeah, he's really got a point to prove to himself. So let's jump on board on Matty Bennett. He's hitting the DRS, going down that long straight in Sector 2, then coming up to that chicane, which will take him onto another long straight. Let's see how he approaches this corner. Doesn't utilise the whole track. Well, that's a relatively good exit, not staying very tight at all, utilising the whole track again. You do get some drivers who like to stay as tight as they possibly can to get every attempt they can out of this. Hits the little curb on the way through, getting a relatively good exit. Just for going P1 currently with 136.7, however, I have a feeling that will be beaten. He is on the medium compound, and there you go, that's beaten by Pi on 135.6 on the soft tyre compound. Still staying on board with Matty Bennett at the moment. We'll see what time he can pull through. Matty Bennett going around the final corner now, coming up to the finish line. Matty Bennett takes a 139.8. Shizen also coming up with a 136.2. And Azuri coming with a 141.3. Let's jump on board. Bloodpool has already invalidated. Next person coming through will be St. Power. St. Power, no invalidation, coming around the last corner. He's already up to 137. What's he going to get here? A 138.3. Well done, St. Power. Right, so Bloodpool invalidation. The Fosket is currently, yep, he's on his flying lap. We'll see what he can do here on the soft compound tyre. That's Bloodpool already out of qualifying. He will start P15 in this race. The Fosket coming home with a 137.7 on his first lap. We have next, Super Calgon has invalidated. We have, we'll jump on board with Gromfeld. He's just coming to the end of Sector 2. He's making good time so far. He's probably looking at a low 136 the way he's going. Running extremely low fuel. As you can see, his fuel bar is blinking. See, this is one of those tracks. Do you risk putting in the 5% fuel, or do you go for the 6? Ultimately, you want to be quicker, but I think that extra 1% is possibly needed for this track. Grunfeld coming around, and he has got a 136.5, putting him in P3 currently. Let's jump on board with Mason. Almost going wide there. It doesn't look like Mason's got a fast time in. I think he's probably had a little bit of a mishap. So he might go around again. You can't. His fuel, it's not going red, so he will try again. We'll catch up with Mason later on. Let's jump on board with looks like St. Power's going again. He's 3 temps up now currently. Barbarian has just started another lap. Missouri has... What's Gromfeld doing? Gromfeld is invalidated. So let's jump on board with Nat Packers, who is just about to start their lap. Actually, no. tell you what, let's go on board with Mason for a little while. See whether he's up or down on his time, and if it's a significant margin, then we will stay tuned with him. So he's coming to the end of Sector 2 now. We will see whether he is improving. So he's improving by a tenth and a half, thereabouts. So we will stay on board with Mason for the time being, seeing if he can beat his time. Mason joining us here from Prospect Esports. This will be his first race as a full-time driver, taking the McLaren seat for the remaining 2 races. So we have this race here at Abu Dhabi, and then next week we travel to Mexico, where we will be drinking tequila and eating tacos, living our best lives in Cancun. So Mason coming over the finish line, taking a 138.1, staying in P9, but it's a massive improvement. Now let's jump on board with Nat, who has invalidated. So we Nat is one of those drivers that has been on driving automatic, learning obviously a new taking some of the assists off, shall we say, no traction control and going manual, and it takes guts to take that step, and kudos, well done for trying it out, and it will improve the racecraft of all drivers who make that big leap in the end. I'm sure it will. But yeah, big chunky space left there with no front wing. Not certain that anyone is capable of getting a pole position. You'd have to be a Formula 1 god to get a pole position with lap like that. Now Kobe coming through is in the beginning of Sector 2, purpling Sector 1. Let's see what Kobe can do on those medium compound tyres. Purpling Sector 2 as well, and he's just gone into Sector 3, looking relatively comfortable on those tyres. So yeah, we're just coming up to the halfway point of the qualifying. All 16 drivers out on track. The majority have put a time in. Still waiting for Nat, who has obviously had to go into the pits to change that front wing. Kobe on those mediums. Super Calgon is going out on the outlap. Kobe coming up to the final corner now, jumping on board with Kobe. We're going to see he has done a 135.5 on the medium compound tyres, and has taken pole position currently. Now we still have a lot of rubber to go into the track, so yeah, that position can easily be taken off people. And yeah, Mason mediums do look like they would be the right compound for this track. There isn't too much in it. Kobe's just decided that he wants to try out the new track layout for the next game. I think he did quite well there. Nice straight line speed going through there. Well done, Kobe. Right, so let's jump on board with another driver that is currently going out. Let's have a look at Super Calgon. He's coming up to the hairpin turn at the very beginning of Sector 2. And let's see, Super Calgon has not set a time yet. We've got Gronfeld as well behind them in Sector 1 at the moment. We'll jump on board with Gronfeld after we finish with Super Calgon. Gronfeld really with a statement to make. A win here will put him in strong contention to challenge for the title of this spillage. Our current league leader, who is unfortunately unable to race this week due to being on holiday in Amsterdam. So living his best life in Amsterdam. And that's Super Calgon actually putting in the fastest Sector 2. So this could be a good watch here. And it looks like medium compound tyres might just be the ones to go for at the moment. We do have some drivers here who like to go for the two-stop strat. However, I do feel a couple of drivers may try and utilise a medium-hard strategy. So, jumping on board with Super Calgon, and he's going around the final corner now. He's a 132.4. I doubt he's going to get pole. No, he's not, but he should finish with a 137.5, putting him in P7. And that's Barbarian, who has just lost it. We'll jump on board with Mason, and we will see if we can see what happened. However, Mason has his teammate right behind him, who has but the track is cleared up already for Barbarian, but Mason is on his out lap now. On his mediums, he's just going to try these out, see if he can improve on them. Looking relatively comfortable. He's already invalidated, that's not good. He'll want to let up now on those tyres. Try not to ruin those tyres, keep them going for the next lap. You still have another lap you can put in there, so keep it up. Right, is anybody else out currently? His Super Cargon's 1.7 up on his time. He is not going for another. Landscape King, 4 temps up on his time. Oh, sorry, 4 temps up. Oh well, he's 4 temps away currently from improving. Let's see, can he pull this back a little? Actually, no, it looks like he's moving out of the way for oncoming drivers behind him. I didn't think he knew he had a lot more room. That's a shame. Right, so we've got St. Power, who's on as fast, who's currently 4 temps quicker. Let's see if St. Power can get into the 136s and secure himself a top currently in our top 6. He will be very keen to do so. So his teammate, Spillage, who is currently in the Red Bull, always just had a little wiggle there. Let's see if he can... he's abandoned this lap. That's a shame. 4 temps quicker. Not bad at all. So let's jump on board with... We'll jump on board with... Fosket. Fosket just going into turn 2, takes a chicane very nicely. That was very smooth. Going for a very good exit here on the hairpin. Nice traction on the way out. Yeah, that could be contention for... I think he's up there so far with one of the fastest laps. This will be close on the soft compound tyre. It looks like Kobe is not going to come back out at all. A little bit of a wiggle there from D. Foskett as he comes through, hits the next DRS detection, and away down the second DRS straight to see how he takes the second chicane. Or can you call this a chicane? It's not really. Let's call it squiggly S's. So far making relatively decent time, committing to the corners, braking in good time as well. It's all about, you know, a good entry and a fast exit with all the traction. He's just a little wiggle there, losing a little bit of traction. He could get a relatively good time here. It looks like he could hit a 136.7, but keeping him in P5, not improving on his time. That's unfortunate. Let's jump on board with Grafel, currently on his out lap. Mason going up to P10, improving by 7 temps. St. Power, who is currently coming to the end of Sector 2. That's very unfortunate, just exceeding track limits there. Right, let's I think Pi is just trying to get some space in between him and other drivers. we will jump on board with Nat, who has underfueled by the looks of things. Oh no, she has set that time beforehand. So we'll remain on with Pi. So as it stands, Kobe is in pole position with that medium compound. Pi only needs to make a tenth and a half to go into P1. Let's see if he can do it. Jesper coming in at a 135.6, pushing Pi down to P4. However, if Pi puts a good lap here, then that will not be the case. Nat, on the other hand, is just about to come over. She's 6 seconds up. She will not be improving. However, Granfeld is out as well, and he purpled sector 2, so this might make an interesting watch here. We will jump back on board with Pi just after. And Pi retires from the race. And Gronfeld has just hit into the hole and he's retired as well. It looked like he was going for an absolutely great lap. But that's very unfortunate to see. St. Paul with an invalidation. He will be starting from P12. Landscape as well, he won't be improving, so that's P11. So that really should wrap up the grid. We're looking at Kobe on pole position with the medium tyres, followed by Nat, Jasper, Pi, and Shizen. Those are your top 5. Gronfeld P6, Fosket P7, Barbarian P8, Super Calgon P9, and Mason top 10. P10, rounding off your top 10. All the guys finishing P11 to P16, free choice of tyre. The rest of them will start on the tyres that they qualified on. So, Landscape King in P11, St. Paul P12, Matty Bennett P13, Azuri P14, Bloodpool P15, and Cortex, who was serving a qualifying ban in P16. Those chaps will start on a tyre of their choice, completely up to them. So whilst we wait for Landscape for his pit crew to put him into the pit, there we go. So yeah, just a quick recap. Kobe starting on the medium compound tyre in P1, closely followed by Nat Packers in P2 and Jesper P3 and Pizotron P4. Looking to be a relatively competitive race. We've got some good drivers in here this evening. I'd say we've probably got about 4 drivers here who are reserving for us this evening. But yeah, should be a very entertaining race. Hoping, all of us have got our fingers crossed over here at SPRL. No safety cars if we can help it. We do not want to see that. We want to see a nice race, good battling, and maybe some upsets here. Gronfeld needs to get some good points on the board here if he wants to challenge for this title and capitalise on the fact that Spillage is not here. However, the likes of Kobe, Nat Packers, Shizen, and Jesper, Pizotron, they may for a spanner in the works. So just a recap here, we do not run a formation lap. Tyres are at optimal temperature, and we just go from there. I do have a driver asking me if I can invite them to a party chat. I already have, I believe. But I have not. Have I not? What I have? Race starts in 28 seconds. That's fine. I've got 28 seconds to do this then. Bear with me. Sorry. Add players. Okay, there you go. So, just over 10 seconds until we start. Right, so here we go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5, and that is lights out, and away we go. Let's have a look at the position changes straight away. We've already got Landscape King making up 3 positions. Great start from Landscape King. And is everybody getting through okay? A little bit of a bunch up here, but it looks like everyone is through unscathed. Biggest winner so far, Landscape King making up 3 positions. Cortex as well making up 3 positions, putting him into P13. Barbarian, biggest loser so far, going down 3 positions into P11. Looks like we got some battling here between Mason and Landscape King at the moment. It's all going on here, and Mason is right on the back of the Alpine driver. They're trying to go through. I don't think there's any damage there. A little bit of a wiggle from Mason, but he makes it through. But Landscape King goes up into P8. Mason losing that position. Right, so we have at the moment we've got D Foskett on the back of Shizen. Doesn't look like a move here will materialise, so we will come away from that. But Mason on the inside of Landscape King, enough room is just about given. Mason then going for the switchback. It doesn't look like it's going to work, but he did get the better traction. However, Landscape King using the slipstream of D Foskett to get through. There's 3 of them here now. They're going 3 wide. Oh, what's going to go on here? Is everyone going to give each other room? It looks like they have, albeit at the expense of Mason going over the curb, but everybody is through. We do see Uzuri and Bloodpool at the moment at the back of the grid. They're less than a second. Okay, they've closed that gap now. However, from P7 to P6, there is a section, nearly 2 seconds in between them. Pi all over the back of Jesper at the moment. Looks like the Alpine driver is really pushing the Mercedes. He wants to get in front of him, and he wants to do it now. Let's jump on board. Pi taking a relatively wide line. He's going off track here. He does get the better exit because of it. However, does he give himself? It looks like he did give himself time penalty there. St. Power pitting, Bloodpool pitting, and will Cortex follow into the pits as well? Let's see what's going on over here. Yes, they will. Looks like there may have been a minor collision. Landscape King already with a penalty. The penalty is 5 seconds. It must be for a collision then. So we're staying on with the position changes at the moment. Where is the next battle at? Let's have a look. Oh, and here we go. We've got D Foskett who is going down, trying to move on the inside. Wasn't really there for him. Super Calgon already had the move going round. Grunfeld at the moment, he is pushing onto the back of Pisotron, and we've got Shizen behind him as well. So far, this is good racing that we have seen. A little bit unfortunate for the guys in P14, 15, 16. They are just under 17 seconds behind the rest of the group. However, everything can change. If there's a safety car or VSC, everything can change. Strategy comes into play. Unfortunately, we did not see Grunfeld's pass there on those 2 drivers. Unsure of what happened because it was not in the camera view, which is not ideal for us here. But hang on a minute, Jesper is going down. Has Jesper suffered some wing damage here? We really want to see the front of Jesper's car. We want to see if he has suffered wing damage because he is going down the pecking order. It's either that or he's just absolutely lost it on the tyres currently. The DRS now being enabled, and Nat Packers at the moment is not within the DRS range of Kobe, so Kobe could potentially just run away with this race, which wouldn't be ideal for the drivers behind. Now, at the moment, Shizen on the back, it does look like, hang on a minute, Landscape King pitting. Maybe this will be a 2-stop for him. Uzuri pitting, Foskett pitting. This will give St. Power, Bloodpool and Cortex some people to battle with. That'll be good for them. At the moment, the next closest battle is Jesper on the back of Mason. Looks like Jesper is biding his time. He wants to be able to make this overtake perfect. Or there is a VSC, so he is not overtaking, however he is waiting. You can see him lurching on the back of Mason, waiting for that VSC to end. Let's see if and when that VSC ends on the straight. It will more than likely end when we are on the next straight. Drive-through penalty, speeding under VSC, that will not help Landscape King. That is very unfortunate. So with Jesper on the back of Mason, using the DRS and the slipstream he had beforehand to make the move. Oh, Mason fighting back. A little bit of bumping between the 2 drivers. Is there going to be room given? Jesper trying to switch back. They are neck and neck. Is the room going to be provided here? A little bit of rough and tumble between these two. And Mason going into the pits. I wonder if he came off for something from that. Not ideal for him. But Shizen on the back of Grunfeld now. Let's see what they can do. And it looks like someone has gone off and spun. That is Pi. The rejoin to track was in a safe manner, but now he's let Barbarian through. But now he's holding up Matty Bennett. Matty Bennett will want to get past him because Pi's tyres are not currently, well, the traction just isn't there. Matty Bennett on the back of Pisotron will have the DRS. You just heard it there. It has gone. He's using Slipstream in order to try and make the overtake. Pisotron taking the defensive line, braking very late. He's now back in the Slipstream of Barbarian, and Matty Bennett will not make this move stick. Pisotron now looking at Barbarian. He might try and make a late move into the corner here. Will he go on his... He will not go on his inside. He will go on the outside. He will just follow him through here. Oh, he's just missed the corner. Taking the bollard with him. Barbarian going a little bit wide, losing traction. Pi can capitalise on this. He's going around the outside. Barbarian on the defensive. Let's see these guys go through. Pi going right around the outside. I think Barbarian may have just tried to back out of that one. I don't think he felt comfortable there on the inside. So he's let Pi go through. So let's jump on the back of Shizen at the moment, who is in the DRS of Grunfeld. These two will follow each other through Sector 1. Shizen goes slightly off track, potentially getting a warning for that. So let's jump onto the tyres at the moment. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on the medium compound tyres, 2 of which have already done the first 4-5 laps on them, and everybody else on the soft compound tyre. So Shizen, we're now on the long straight after the hairpin turn. Shizen on the back of Grunfeld, be looking to make the get the best out of the DRS on this zone, and then we'll be wanting to overtake on the next. He is not going to commit to an overtake here, getting as close as he can, trying to get a good exit. It looks like he lost a little bit of traction, but so does Grunfeld. That's not good for Grunfeld at all. So he's right on the back of Grunfeld. What will he do here? He's got the DRS. He's going on the outside. That move will stick before the corner. Nothing Grunfeld can do. Very defenseless. But we'll see. Can Grunfeld going side by side here? Oh no, he's not. It was just a camera angle. All excited for nothing. But Grunfeld is still right on the back of him. Oh, and they've touched. Grunfeld might have just hurt his wing by doing so, and Shizen has conceded that position. Maybe he was told to give it back, or maybe it was just really good racing from Grunfeld. However, Grunfeld does not look comfortable in the car right now, so there may potentially be some wing damage, which won't be helping him. Will he go into the pits here? He will not. Neither will Shizen. Shizen looks like he had the much better exit there. So, anybody else? Mason on the back of, Fosket. These two drivers at the moment, they're having a nice little battle between the two. Mason putting the new softs on, and Fosket putting the new mediums on. Mason will be expecting either a safety car, or he will be expecting to stop once more, at the very least. Fosket right behind Mason. He'll be... Oh, and Pisotron has DNF'd. Let's jump on with Matty Bennett. Pisotron has lost it in Sector 1. There is a safety car. What do we do from here? What do we do from here? These soft runners will be pitting. So it puts the grid back together, and that lovely lead that Kobe managed to get 4 seconds is now gone. It also gives Grunfeld the opportunity to try and getting it back in there. Now, will Kobe pit? That is the question. That is what we want to know. How are his tyres hanging up? Has he been looking after them? He will not pit. However, I suspect Nat will be pitting along with Groenfeld when he gets there. Nat has pit. Let's see what Groenfeld does. Yeah, pitting, Shizin, pitting, Jesper. Pitting, Super Calgon, pitting, Matty Bennett. Barbarian has gone. What's happened to Barbarian? Looks like he's just lost it there. I don't know how you could lose it there, but okay. So all these people pitting. Now, Mason is the driver we want to watch because he's just pitted and put these mediums on. You've got these drivers coming out of the pit now. Realistically, won't make many places. Same power, not pitting, and Mason pitting. Those mediums will be going on then. Or will he go hards? He's gone hards. He's going to the end on hards. Bold choice, but nevertheless, could be a good one. As long as there are no more safety cars and he can make those tyres come alive pretty early on, should be a good move. We'll see. Bloodball coming out of the pits as well. Landscape King coming down the straight. Where's Landscape King going to come? Is he going to come out in front of Mason? It does not look like he will. And he has already served this. Oh, and he's also not come out in front of Bloodball either. Bloodball going off the track, allowing. Oh, and Bloodball has lost the car. What happened there? Well, this will make the safety car go round again. So we are probably looking at, you can go straight, Bloodpool. Oh wait, no you cannot. Oh, that's 3 seconds time penalty for multiple warnings. That's heartbreaking. There's not really much you can do about that when you haven't got the wing. But unfortunately the rules state no 3 second time penalties can be taken away. Only under exceptional circumstances like game glitches, but that was just unfortunate. He'd already accrued 2 warnings beforehand, and that was the final one. There's nothing we can do about that. That is just very unfortunate and something I have to take on the chin. Your heart bleeds for him, really. You've got Cortex as well. Technically speaking, making 3 positions, going from P16 to P13 is still an improvement. And let's also remind ourselves, all drivers who finish get points. Points go all the way from P1 to P20, starting off at the 50 points, going all the way down to 1 point at P20. Since we don't have 20 drivers on the grid this evening, most with commitments or COVID or just generally not feeling well or unable to race, going off grid as well. Let's hope that doesn't give more warnings. That would be really unfortunate. And again, that one potentially would have because of the fine margins. But yep, we'll see him coming in again. He'll probably put on another set of mediums. Let's hope he's got another set of mediums that hasn't already been applied. Right, let's jump on board with Kobe whilst we're here. It looks like the safety car will go again. We might be lucky and have it in. I doubt it, but I'm going to quickly go and get a drink, and we will stay on board with Kobe in the meantime. And there we are, back just in time to see that the safety car is coming in this lap. Right, we'll go on to the position changes now. Kobe and Nat, no change. Groenfeld, up 3 places, Shizan at 1, Jesper down 2. Calgon up 3. St. Power, biggest winner on the grid so far, up P5. Foskett down P1, Matty and Azuri both up 4 positions, Mason, Landscape both down 1, Cortex up 3, and Bloodpool up 1. So, when is he going to go? He's going to leave it right till the end. There we go, and he is gone. However, Grunfeld had to give the position back because he did not get that position fairly. Is he going to lose out further now? He is having a little bit of a bump and tumble with Shizen, which has allowed Super Calgon to go on the inside, but that means there's no traction control there for Shizen. Now he's fighting his teammate. Sorry, mosquito. Not ideal, and now they're fighting each other. This is not what they want. They want to be helping each other for the constructors, because they are actually, these two drivers are relatively consistent, usually in P7 plus. They do put a shift in, and they do want to win the constructors. So rather than fight each other, you want to help each other here, lads. We've got Azuri and Cortex here, drag race down the end. Let's see what happens as they go through that chicane together. So we're just backing out, but that's his mistake, as Landscape King has put a nose in to not come out on top. But let's see what happens here. Doesn't look like anything's going to materialise from that. But biggest loser from this is Bloodpool, who has still 8.5 seconds down. Meanwhile, Shizen, still on the back of his teammate, he wants to get around him, and he wants to get around him now. And that right there, folks, the Snappack are taking the lead against Kobe. Grunfeld right behind them as well. Makes for some good racing. We did catch all of that. So what would be Kobe's response here? Let's jump on with Kobe. Nat picking up the fastest lap of the race with a 1:39 flat. The only other battle here, really, top 6, all within DRS range. Cortex on the back of Mason, he's actually gaining some time quite rapidly, or he's lost it a little bit. In Sector 1, there has been, it's Kobe. That's unfortunate for him. Facing the wrong way. Poor Kobe. Very unlucky. Safety car again. Not what we want. That's what we're going to get. However, this does help 2 drivers in particular. Landscape King. He has just put on brand new mediums. This will benefit him. He may gain a position or 2. However, he does have a penalty, 3-second time penalty as well, same as Bloodpool and Super Calgon. stops. Well, the majority making 1 stop, a couple of 2 stops. However, Blackpool already on 3 stops. Drive through penalty, speeding under safety car. Blackpool, no. Very. You gotta feel sorry for this guy. He just can't get a break. Can't get a break. Poor guy. Don't serve it now, Blackpool, because it won't count. Now, a lot of these drivers are either relatively new to the game or they're using this as a developmental. He's kept control of the car. Let's just give him another one. So he's got to drive through, okay. So don't go now though, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Blackpool, don't do this. Please don't do this. It's not going to work. At least those mediums look nice and soft. Brand new mediums. Landscape will take the position. Will Matty Bennett? That's what we want to see. We want to see, will Matty Bennett beat Blackpool out onto the track? Doubt it. No, he will not. However, it looks like the safety car should be in this lap as well. Not even halfway through, we've had 2 safety cars and we've got 3 DNFs. Not ideal, but that's the hand we're dealt with. Tricky track, hard to get it right. So whilst we're here, we may as well have a look at the position changes. Everybody really has made an improvement, bar Jesper and Landscape King and Matty Bennett, who are still even. Biggest winner of the day is Cortex, going from P16 to P8, so that's good plus for him. Supercar gone as well at the moment in the podium positions in P3 with a 6 position increase. Azuri as well. We've not really given Azuri much coverage. However, he's been quiet, but he's kept his head down and he's doing well. Matty Bennett at the back of the grid. He'll just be happy to finish and get some points on under his name, I believe. So yeah, come on, Matty Bennett, you've got this. So we'll jump back on board with the race leader, Nat Packers. We will also jump on board. Let's have a look at. We'll stay on board with the tyres at the moment. The majority, no one really pitting apart from Azuri. Let's hope Azuri can make these hards last. St. Power's pitting now. He has decided to concede the position he was in. I believe he's going to put on a pair of mediums until the end of the race, maybe? Usually it's about 13 laps that the mediums run for. Get about 10 to 11 good laps on them. You can stretch them to 15. Not nice on the final few laps though, from experience. It's a bit, you know, pooey bum, but hey ho. So we will see the safety car come in this lap. And it's just a case of, yeah, St. Power has caught up with the grid. How far is Nat Packers gonna back the grid up? She's gonna go early, she's gonna leave it really late. We did see that it did not benefit Kobe at all to leave it that late. So it might be within your best interest to go either really early or as soon as you go around that corner on final turn. So Groenfeld up to P2 at the moment. It's really good for Groenfeld because it means he can really try and grab the rest of this race by the scruff of the neck and try and steal a win here. These guys all on the 5 laps, they'll be sliding all over the place trying to hold it to the very end. That pack looks like she's going, keeping it. Groenfeld right behind her, not letting her get out of his sight. So let's just make sure everybody gets through okay. It looks like everybody is through. Landscape going a little bit wide, and we've got Blood Ball on the inside. They do not make contact, but it looks like Blood Ball's just made for Landscape King. Doesn't look like they were too comfortable going in with each other there. Blood Ball currently playing on the controller as well. Oh, he's outbraked himself a little bit, had to go wide. And again, he's just got to be careful that he does not hit the back of Landscape King and take his wing. However, he's gotten wide again, not getting the best of exits. Can Matty Bennett, it doesn't look like he'd be able to do anything here, but St. Power on brand new mediums might just make a move on the inside here. He's taken his foot off the ERS. He is going to go on the inside, and they do almost collide. I think St. Power just outbraked himself a little bit there, not being able to get the job done. Not ideal for him. Mason at the moment up here on the back of D. Fosker, not making a move. These two have been fighting all races. Already nearly 3 seconds, just over 2.5 seconds between him and Jesper. So those 5 drivers again running away with it. You can clearly see the difference here in the guys' pace, front, middle, and back. But this is all at the moment. Amazing, going a little bit wide. Those hards, they're not currently there, are they? And it looks like he is now just over a second out of the DRS. However, we still don't have DRS for another 2 laps. 2 more full laps, we will have it. 3 attempts to make up in the space of 2 laps. Doable, really doable. Just needs to get those hard tyres going. But that's not his concern at the moment. At the moment, we've got Cortex right on the back of Mason. Is Cortex going to make a move? He will not. He is biding his time. Slightly going off track, but that doesn't matter. I don't think it's given him a penalty there. Mason, a little bit of a lag jump there for him, but no harm done. Now let's see, will Cortex try and... Oh, he's lost traction a little bit there. He does go wide. Does that mean Zuri is not close enough to him to capitalise from that? However, that does help Mason. So we've got, at the moment, we've got Jesper on the back of Shizen. Doesn't look like anything will capitalise from this. However, he is now right on the back of him. He's just he's really gone for the breaking point. But at the moment, Shizen and Jesper both struggling with traction out of that chicane. That makes them lose time. And now there's... Oh, and we've just had St. Power past Matty Bennett at the moment. What's happened there? It looks like Matty Bennett has probably lost a little bit of traction. Blood Pool at the back. Another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. It's not really been the best of days for Blood Pool, but at the moment all you can do, mate, is sit there, keep your head down, get the points that you can. There might be some more DNFs. You might be lucky, people might have to pit, you might just get up there and get some good points for yourself. The battle at the moment that we all love to see at the moment is Blood Pool and Azuri. They're some of the best battles we see. Super Cal got out of the race. That's another safety car. Now we've got the drivers pitting. Now it's mediums. Azuri on those hards. Doesn't want to pit. This will put Azuri in P3. My guy. Azuri in P3. Yes, boy. St. Power, P5. Landscape King, P4. Matty Bennett in P6. Loving this. Loving this. Loving this. Go past him. Good man. Go past. Everyone going past. Yep. Matty Bennett going past as well. Good man. Right. Go past Jesper. Good man. And Shizen. Again! Blood Pool disqualified speeding under safety car. Not ideal. I don't think that track is Blood Pool's best friend. I'm not sure he was enjoying himself that much on that track. It is a very technical track. It's very difficult. Lots of Nice tight corners on there, really, to try and get around. So, yeah, commiserations to Bloodpool. Your race has been run. Very unlucky, and we go again on the next one. So, Mexico. Not many people's favourite track. Again, quite technical track. Yeah, I only know a handful of people who say, oh yeah, Mexico's a nice fun track to drive on, and they're all crazy in the head. So that pretty much explains it. They're probably just there for the tequila and the tacos, nothing much else. Now, Nat and Groenfeld. Nat is pitting. Groenfeld is following suit. This will make Azuri potentially the leader of the race. I pray. I have never wanted someone so much to start the race off under safety car than this guy right here. Please. Do this, Azuri. Get your foot down. It looks like he is. It looks like he is going to be the race leader. Oh, my dreams have come true. Azuri P1 in the SPRL Thursday. This right here is my dream coming true. And Landscape going P2 and St. Power going P3. And it looks like Nat and Groenfeld will hold on to their positions in P4 and 5, albeit on the better tyres. Azuri needs to make sure he gets the traction right. Obviously we've got like some Mason again pitting, putting new mediums on, a little bit of a jig around on the grid, but right here, this is what we all want to see. Azuri P1. So happy for him. I don't think he's actually been P1 at all in any of the races, and now is his chance. I just hope for this boy's sake that his heart is not out of his chest right now. This is big for him. Azuri has not been racing long at all, and for him this is a great feat. Amazing for him. Leading the race under a safety car, it can be stressful for the new drivers. So we will see how he copes with that pressure. Hopefully he puts up a good fight. Hopefully he can do some good work up there. And from here on to the end of the race, get himself some good points. He's run a very good race so far. A safety car is in this lap. Let's jump on board with him and see how far he's going to slow the grid up. We've never seen Azuri come in and leading a safety car, so this will be interesting. This might even be his first safety car that he's led. So he really wants to get those tyres right up to temperature. He needs to do a little bit more than that. That's not really going to make a difference. And he'll be struggling throughout all those corners. He's not really backing the grid up. And this might be down to experience, or he might know what he's doing. He might just be playing a game with them. Who knows? This will be very interesting because now Nat Packers and Groenfeld will want to fight their way through the grid. Just don't spin yourself out. You go now, catch them off guard. Go now and catch them off guard. Oh! Oh no, that's so unfortunate. Azuri hasn't had the traction around the corner, and and Landscape has gone straight into the back of him, giving him a nudge, outbraking himself. That is not ideal, putting St. Power into P2, now attacking Azuri. So we have the unlikeliest P1 and P2, Azuri and St. Power really outbraking himself, cutting the corner there, and Azuri being spun. That is just that's heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking. Please tell me he's got his front wing. Please tell me he's got his front wing. He does. Is there any damage? You can't see any damage. So Groenfeld didn't last very long, but he's up there. Nat Packers going on the outside of St. Power. St. Power picking up a 3-second time penalty, going in too deep. Didn't trust the fact that Nat wasn't going to give her the room, albeit the room was there. That's just down to, Jasper going with the medium, soft compound tyre. We did not expect this. He needs to get in front of St. Power really quickly then, because those, there you go. Commentator's curse. St. Power off the track. Don't work those tyres too hard. Don't work those tyres too hard. Come on. Get the traction in them, boy. Come on. I'm going to leave him to do that. Oh, and Mason, has he gone for a little bit of a tumble? He has. Has he got damage? We can't see. let's say, ooh, yeah, he's got a yellow front left wing. Not ideal, really not ideal. Landscape having to pit as well, not ideal for him. Mason picking up a time penalty, again, not ideal. St. Power also picked up a penalty. He can't keep it on the track because of, well, the damage to the car. So there's 3 drivers after the first lap of the safety car pitting. Not good. Now, Cortex seeing Matty Bennett and Shizen, they are together. Oh, and it looks like there's going to be more pitting. Cortex cutting track, 3-second time penalty. Azuri, mate, you can still get there, Azuri. Have faith. Nat and Gronfeld going in side by side. Gronfeld, ooh, not really given the space. He's cutting off really quickly. That might just be unintentional outbraking himself, but that throws Jesper back into the mix as well. These 3 are loving it. There's 7 seconds between these 3 and P4. Didn't last long for these 3 to get back in. However, Nat Packers and Gronfeld again going at it, following each other through the chicane, and they are now well and truly into the 3rd and final sector. Guns blazing. Jesper's tyres are going to start crying in the next 5 laps, and we should really see Jesper start to lose some pace compared to these 2. Not the best. Maybe he didn't have another option. Maybe he had to do the softs and the mediums that he both run, or it just weren't good enough to cut it. I don't know, but this is the battle here. It's really P1, 2 and 3. Unless one of them makes a mistake, and Jesper going wide at the moment. DRS has been enabled, but Jesper taking the fastest lap of the race so far. Anything can happen. That no one else is in range of DRS from one another, so it's going to be a relatively boring race for the rest of them. Closest one really is Shizen on the back of D. Fosket at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on that. And really, Nat right on the back of Gronfeld. She'll be trying to make a move on the first DRS straight. Going out quite wide, coming in very narrow, trying to get the best exit she possibly can. And Gronfeld with the better exit, better traction. However, that doesn't matter. There's your DRS. Laps open. Away we go. Gronfeld showing defensive line. Doesn't mean a thing, purely because Nat had just so much pace. Jesper won't get there in time. However, let's jump on the back of Gronfeld. Gronfeld should really be looking to respond. He's not very quick at all, actually, there to get onto the power. They might battle it between them, but Nat seems a lot faster. This is probably down to the fact that she is using gears. Gronfeld does not want to let her go. But that might just be the case. She's very quick on this track. She has had practice. She did race here on Tuesday in SPRL Tuesday League. So she did have the practice. But I can see further down the grid now that Shizen is in fact in DRS range of Fosket. So we will go back there shortly. It looks like Nat may potentially get out of the DRS. Yeah. So Gronfeld has lost that, so we'll jump on the back of Jesper. Jesper, who will want to be capitalising on the fact that Gronfeld has no DRS. Landscape King taking up another penalty. Let's see what Jesper can do here. Taking it nice and close to the line, getting on the early. However, if I did have the better exit, but Jesper's put the power on early and he's got the DRS. Gronfeld using his ERS as well. Is he going to go for a move? I don't think. Yeah, it's not. That, yeah, that's a good line taken from him. Get the power on early, Jesper, and he has done just that. He might just make it here. He might just make it. It's going to be tight. Nah, he's got it. So let's jump on top of Shizen. Shizen is now chasing D. Fosket down this long straight. Tight. He's not really in the slipstream, but this is better than last lap. Last lap he was out of DRS. This lap he's in. He's taken those lines very well through there. Fosket struggling with those lines really. He's on. Well, they're both on the same tyre. Matty Bennett as well, strolling along in P6. Got plenty of time between him and Azuri in P7. This for them, good points. I'm pretty sure they'd be happy with that. They'll take that all day long. St. Power and Mason as well, P10 and 11. It's Mason's debut. I don't think we'd be happy with P11, but He has pit again. Let's have a look at the penalties. 3 seconds. If he can catch up with him. Oh, it's just picking up a 3-second time penalty just because he had a little wobble on the exit there. So he is now, if he wants to get P4, he has to get past Bosket and he has to put the 3 seconds in between them. There's no question about it now. And if we go back to the top, we have Jesper in front of Grunfeld. He's still got 3.5 seconds to make up on that. Grunfeld taking the corner nice and narrow. Jesper getting a relatively good exit, but Grunfeld getting an even better one. We jump on the back of these two. It looks like Grunfeld will catch him. But will it be in time for the corner? No, it will not be in time. He is just going to follow him through, and he's going to look to capitalise it here. Jesper doesn't get the best of runs. However, Grunfeld gets a very good exit right on the back of Jesper. He's using the slipstream of Jesper to get round him. They should come around this corner side by side, which they have done, but Cortex is DNF, and it's a safety car. Who was ahead at this point? Was it Grunfeld? Was it Jesper? Looks like it was Grunfeld. Now is the time for the softs. So that puts D. Foskett into the lead. Six lap old mediums will be done. Azuri going back up the order, albeit 10 lap old hards. Is it worth it? Don't know. If I am P5 or lower, I would have been putting the softs on. It's the third or fourth safety car, I can't remember. Either way, it's another different race leader leading the safety car. Safety car will not come in this lap, it will go in the following, provided that all cars go around together. So we will be looking at a 4-lap shootout. So, yep, the safety car came in, and Foskett has already lost out. Nat has really taken the lead, Grenfell behind, and P. Jesper as well behind. They're all on new soft, so it is a race. Shizen is up there too now as well. Azuri fighting to keep his place from Matty Bennett.
Searching for keep this pace.
So yeah, we've got 3 more laps. So anything can happen here really. Azuri will be wanting to finish up as high as he possibly can. He'll be wanting to hold on to Matty Bennett and Azuri. Let's jump up on board with Jesper right behind the back of Gronfeld. Shizen's up there as well. Natalie has already taken a 1-second lead against them. Pace difference here is unreal. I'd love to be on that track and oh, and Matty Bennett, Azuri has gone down the pecking order. He is now on P7. State Power on the back of Azuri. State Power going on the inside as well, and he's not given enough room to Azuri there. Azuri has spun. Heartbreaking for Azuri. That's now going to put him at the back of the grid. What is he going to do here? Is he going to go and put the softs on, or is he just going to trundle round and see what he can get out of this? Not ideal for Azuri, but what's he going to do? He's not pitting, so he's just going to keep up. And oh, if he puts his foot down, he can potentially track down a few of the other drivers. Hopefully. Mason going on the inside of St. Power. St. Power going to leave the room. St. Power has left the room. And there is contact going through the final bit of the chicane. St. Power on the inside. There's still more contact between the 2 drivers. Doesn't look like anybody has lost. Oh, who's got the DRS here? Forgive me, there is no DRS. But Matty Bennett looks like Mason. Sorry, looks like. Oh, and St. Power has just outbraked himself and he's just tapped Mason. He has definitely lost that position now. There is no chance he's getting that back. Has he taken damage? Is the question. No, he has not. Mason as well looks to be fine, no damage at all, and everyone else is pretty spaced out. Gronfeld is 2 seconds behind Nat Packers. Jesper behind Gronfeld. Really not ideal for Gronfeld. He wanted to be winning this race. However, the pace for Nat was just too much for him. Unless something catastrophic happens now, well then, yeah, that's it. There's going to be no more safety cars. It's too close to the end of the race. We haven't got Michael Massey in charge, so no controversy here. Just straight up racing. It looks like DRS is now enabled. So we will see a battle between P2, 3 and 4. Let's see if Shizen can get onto the podium. Let's see if Gronfeld can hold on to P2. Let's see what Jesper is made of. And that will just trundle away. We're not going to give her any airtime. You know, you've done that much. We don't really need to be on you. Foskett picking up a 3-second time penalty. Not ideal because if Azuri gets back into the make some time up on you, then that could come back to haunt you if you make any mistakes. And Foskett is out of the session. It's not going to give us a safety car. Let's jump on top of Azuri. Let's see what's happened. Jump on board. Same place Kobe lost it. Right, jumping on board with Nat. Just 3.2, 3.3. Gronfeld outside of Jesper. It doesn't want to give me the... Oh, there we go. And Shizen, it looks like he's trying to get involved there as well, sitting right behind Jesper. Landscape King making the move on Matty Bennett as well, going up into P5. That's good for him. Mason is too far away from Matty Bennett is the tyre compound difference, but Landscape King picking up a 3-second time penalty, bringing his penalties to 9 seconds in total, meaning that he might lose it to Matty Bennett and potentially maybe Mason, if Mason can get a move on. No, it doesn't look like he can. It looks like Mason has kept it. Right, Jesper on the back of Gronfeld. Let's see what can happen leading up to Sector 2 where we get the double DRS detection. those three cars coming around really quickly, one behind the other. They're all close to each other, all within a second of each other. It's really good racing from all three, going through the chicane nice and tight, nice and quickly, all of them. Let's jump on board with Gromfeld. Let's see if anyone can make a move here. However, it looks like Jesper got the worst out of the three. But we do have Jesper. Let's jump on board with Jesper. Jesper is going for Gromfeld. He will make the move. Will he make it stick? And we've got Shizen as well. He's not in the mix. However, let's jump on board with these two. Oh, they're so close. They're practically touching, but they're not. They have given adequate space to one another. Jesper getting the better exit out of the two. Gromfeld now looking to launch an attack, but at the same time, Shizen on the back of Gromfeld. This could be really interesting to watch going into this corner. Is Gromfeld going to make it? He is not. He is just managed to break in time. Shizen is backing off, biding his time, waiting for the opportunity to arise for himself. At the moment, no other cars are in between DRS times from one another. We also have to take into consideration that Shizen gives Gromfeld a little bit of a bump. Don't think that did anything to his front wing, but he does also have a 3-second time penalty, which does not benefit him, which means that he will not be able to take podium position unless a driver ahead of him has a big accident. Never mind. The race is finished, and I got too carried away. I was just getting so into it. Landscape King, 1 lap. Not sure what happened there. Plus 1 lap. Strange. Last driver to come through was Azuri. So we've had 9 finishes out of possible 16. And Azuri finishes. And we are all done. Matty Bennett, driver of the day, rightly so, finishing his first league race. Well done, Matty Bennett. Here's your podium. Nat Packers taking P1. It looked like Jesper took P2 and Gromfeld with the P3, I believe. Gromfeld was the McLaren. Yeah, Gromfeld taking P3. So, yep, here's your grid. For some reason, though, it did put Landscape King in P9. We'll revisit that. I'm sure something... Not sure what happened there. Maybe he was lapped and the game was glitching. Unsure. Foskett will get points because he was within the lap distance, so he will take the P10. But winning the race in P1, Nat Packers and the Williams reserve driver. P2, Jesper. Again, another reserve driver. Gromfeld. We really needed some good points from this race. I think 40 points, respectable amount to be taken away. Shizen P4, Matty Bennett P5, Mason P6 on his debut, St. Power P7, Azuri, good drive from him, leading the safety car and everything, but it was just a little bit too much for him in the end, not getting the traction in those tyres. P8, Landscape King P9, Foskett P10, Cortex P11. Super Calgon is in P12, Kobe, Ole Ole in P13, Barbarian P14, Pisotron in P15 and Bloodpool in P16 due to the disqualifications. And there we have it. We are just going to make sure that we grab all the times for the drivers. That should be good enough. Race director as well. All those people pitting. Too many safety cars really happening. Collision with Gromfeld, it's lap 1. Look at this log. It's a long log. Anyway, that was our race around Abu Dhabi. We are back again next week at Mexico. Same time, same place. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a really good evening wherever you are. Ciao.